We noticed that there was now also another person standing next to Rose beside her two siblings. As we get closer, you can see that this man was a man as tall as Darren, with a well-toned, he's probably her ex-husband or something, the well-toned muscular build, wearing a shirt that was half unbuttoned with long black hair that reached his shoulders, and a bristly mustache covering his whole upper lip. On his left hip, he was wearing a golden scabbard that appeared to be holding a rather expensive sword, at least judging by the multitude of gems decorating its hilt. The man seemed to be in the middle of a discussion with Rose, but when he saw us approach, he gave us one long look before he started speaking again. I see you have befriended a few of the tournament's participants on your latest journey, the man tells Rose. Could you please introduce me to your new friends? Of course, Rose says, and then she turns to us. Yeah, this is my ex-husband, I guessed as much. Enrique. He was just telling us what Susie and Kevin have been up to for these past few weeks, since he's been checking upon them every now and then while I've been away. Rose now turns to Enrique as she introduces us to him one by one. Enrique, she says, these are my friends who have helped me get back home safely, who have saved my life countless times in the past week. From right to left, we have Flower, Iluna, Kate, Barry, Darren, and Hardrick. Wait, why did you tell me two names while you were pointing towards the little girl? Enrique says, it's a little complicated, Rose says. You see, Flower is a... Flower... Why do you need to divulge this information? But go ahead. You see, Flower is the girl's name, and Luna is a banshee that lives within her. They're both sharing the same body, but they are very good friends. A girl and a banshee living peacefully in the same body, Enrique says, surprised. And that's something you don't see every day. He then goes to Darren and shakes his hand. You must be Rose's new lover, Enrique tells Darren. Take good care of her, my friend. She's an extraordinary woman. Actually, I'm not, Darren starts to say, but Rose interrupts him. Enrique, she says as she squeezes her ex-husband's right arm tightly with both her hands. Tightly with both her hands. Why is it written like that? Remember what happened the last time when you assumed that one of my guests was my lover? Rose, you're being unfair, Enrique says. How was I supposed to know that the woman holding that man's arm was in fact his wife? They look so much alike that I could have sworn she was his sister. Oh, they're talking about Kate, I'm guessing. Anyone could have made that mistake. And besides, this time, I made sure that there was no woman standing beside him before I approached him, did I not? Oh, okay. So he's talking about the man before that he thought was her lover. Rose sighs as she releases Enrique's arm. Come on, Darren, let's go, she says. We need to hurry to the castle. We wouldn't want to keep the king of the Thelius waiting. So I'm guessing, since I missed out on the opportunity with Rose in this playthrough, since I let the slave girl die, because what was it? Kate was also on my side, that we probably shouldn't take this superpower of like killing the locals and kill this, because Rose of the same mindset as me, that killing that noble is not going to change shit in this town. So I do believe we still have an opportunity with Kate in the future, romantically speaking, but I highly doubt we're gonna get another one with Rose unless we go specifically for that. And the way this works, I'm pretty damn sure there is no harem ending. There ain't no way this is going to end up in a harem, regardless of what choices I make. I don't think that's programmed into the game. Where were we? Come on. Yeah. Okay. Alright, the message from earlier, Enrique says, you mean that Golimuk was talking about your friends when he made the invitation at the end? Yes, exactly, Rose says. I'll need to lead them to the castle, so I'll be gone again for a few hours. Do you mind staying here with the children until I get back? Of course not, Enrique says. This is the reason I came here after all. Thank you, Enrique. They have a really good relationship, honestly. Rose says, we'll talk more when I come back. Take care. Farewell, my sweet Rose. Enrique says, and goodbye to you all. I hope we'll meet again someday, so you can tell me about your adventures over a glass of fine wine. They all say our goodbyes to Enrique and to Rose's siblings. Then we begin our new journey towards the castle of Thelius. Rose takes the lead just like before, but this time she makes sure to show us all the signposts and buildings she uses as landmarks, because later we would need to find our way back to her mansion on our own. Why? Where is she going to go? Oh right, she's just going to return, because obviously she's not going to stay the whole time the interrogation is going on. I'm sorry about earlier, Rose tells Darren as we walk through the alleyway. I hope Enrique didn't make you feel too uncomfortable. It's just that he's been worrying about me for a while, since I haven't been with the man since we broke up, and he always gets carried away in situations like this. It's okay, Darren says. Frankly, I'm more worried about the guy who got asked the same question when he came here with his wife. Did you eventually manage to clear the misunderstanding? Well, I tried my best to explain the situation to his wife. I'm not sure how much she believed me, Rose says. I know the two of them are still together, but they haven't really talked to me since that day. I don't blame her, Darren says. I think even my wife would have been very around you after hearing something like that. Wait a minute, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that you were never married. Wait, what? What does that even mean? I don't think there was oh, this is not meta. I think he's talking about like from storybooks and whatnot. You're married? Long distance. You're married? Sort of, Darren says. How can you be sort of married, I ask. Left Sophie behind in the remote village from the southern continent where we spent our childhood together, Darren says. We decided to journey around the world in order to help the people in need. I wanted to get divorced to keep her away from danger, but she would not hear of it. In the end, I offered her a compromise, giving her the freedom to spend her life with another man if she wanted, even if we were technically still married. And did she do it? Rose. Oh, so he was like, you know what? Oh, this is not cuck. My mind went to cuck for a second, but no. This is not that. It's basically that she didn't want to get like divorced from him, and that's why she just like kind of have like an open relationship where he can do whatever he wants, she can do whatever she wants, but you know, they have like a connection, so they didn't want to break that and whatnot. Well, she didn't want to break that. If she wanted, even if we were technically still married. And did she do it? Rose asks. No, Darren says. At first I tried to push her away, convincing that it was for her own good, but no matter what I did, even if I went away for years on end without so much as sending her a letter, she would still wait patiently for my return. Luckily for us, all the people from our village knew us very well, and they were kind enough to keep our relationship hidden from the rest of the world. Seeing that I couldn't convince Sophie to let go of me no matter what I did, I eventually gave up and decided to work on improving the quality of our long distance relationship instead. That's when I came up with the idea and enchant some magical transceivers in order to receive their increase their range. The transceiver I have with me now have helped me keep in touch with her even when we are different continents. Does that mean, oh, it's like a phone, does that mean we can talk to her even now? I say, no, Darren says. That's the first thing I tried when I came here, but this continent is either out of range or there's some kind of devices blocking all form of outside communication. Either way, maybe it's for the best that you couldn't contact her since you came here, Kate says. I can't imagine how telling her what you went through this past week would have been any help in keeping her mind at ease. She'd better off not knowing, to be honest. Yeah, maybe you're right, Darren says. This book is far more, like, mature, I suppose, is the word, than what I'm used to. You know, because you know, when you watch anime, it's mostly just like oh, you know, no connections with nobody, no, like, even when they have heavy themes, it usually doesn't go this direction, but whatever. Yeah, maybe you're right, Darren says. Look, there's another signpost that shows the way to the castle, Rose says. We'll be running into these a lot more often as we get closer to the destination. Follow me, we need to go into this next alley next. Took me about 2 hours to reach the castle of Thelius from Rose's mansion. Given that we arrived at our destination with plenty of time to spare, we took our time saying our goodbyes to Rose. Okay, Rose says after Kate is done hugging her. Enough with the goodbyes. You're only going to a meeting. It's not like we'll never see each other again. Remember to keep the transceiver I gave you close to you at all time, Darren tells Rose. If things get ugly, if you're unable to come back, we'll give you a call. There goes Darren again with his usual optimism, Rose says, smiling. I'm sure you'll be fine. The king just wants to have a talk with you, that's all. Otherwise, he would have sent an arrest warrant, not an invitation. Let's hope you're right, Darren says. Well, I'm guessing Darren will kind of get together with Rose, perhaps? Maybe? I don't know. I mean, he's still married, so I don't know how does that work, but okay. The entrance is that way, Rose says. I think we have spent enough time standing around in front of the castle. Remember, while you're away, I'm planning to cook a meal that would put Flower's magic to shame, so don't be late. Wouldn't miss it for the world, I say. Rose smiles and she turns away while we do the same and start heading towards the big gate in front of us. As we approach the entrance, Dara signals the guard to let us through. Once they confirm my identities, they open the doors. We all step inside slowly as the gate slams shut behind us. There's not been one choice. There's one choice, actually. I don't know how important that was. Two choices, actually. Barely a choice, I would say. There's something odd about this castle. I noticed it even before we went inside. The castle windows looked as if they were supposed to have precious gem encrusted on their frames, but the gems are all missing. It also seems as if several decorations have been ripped off from the tower. The castle's interior looks even worse. The hallways are completely empty. There are no paintings on the wall, no carpets on the ground, and no vases on the tables. The place looks more like a dungeon than a castle. There aren't even any guards patrolling the hallways. I'm almost starting to wonder if we didn't somehow end up in the wrong place. This feels like the ogre fort all over again, Hardrick says, as she opens Araka's amulet. Hey, you, Araka, are you sensing any guard hiding invisibly around here? Answer me. Arka doesn't makes no sound, acting as if she haven't heard a word of what Hardwick is saying. Giving me the silent treatment, eh? Hardwick says with a grin.